I wanted to hang out with my family. Like, I wanted to hang out with my parents, like, more than most people, most than friends, like, because they're the most trustworthy, they know me the most, and there's just like, you can fully be yourself, you know, while having a really good time. So I feel lucky, I feel really blessed for all of like the experiences that I've had and how close, like I have no regrets, right?
Nice, Scotty.
You know, front, I'd rather be ahead than.
I'm excited today to be playing with Carolie here at Granite Bay Country Club. But we got a beautiful day and we're gonna tee it up. So thank you so much for coming with us.
Thanks for having me, I'm
Yes.
excited. He's a lefty? Dang! That was beautiful. Whoa.
Oh, whoa, here we go. Nice shot. I don't know what I'm
It's all
doing.
just luck, right?
Welcome back to Between Shots. I'm your host, Mike Luevano. Today, I'm joined by my guest, Carolie Lawson. Today, we're going to talk about family, motherhood, loss, and the things that happen in those seasons that aren't expected, and how we carry those into the generations in the future. Carolie, welcome back to Between Shots, and thank you for being here. I'm honored to have you back.
Thank you, Mike. I've been looking forward to this, finishing our conversation, and excited to see what you have to ask.
Yeah, well, again, it's not question and answer, but I do have a question to get us started. You know, we it's been a couple weeks since we played some golf, about 2 weeks, and we covered quite a bit that day. We had a beautiful day out there. It was fun out at Granite Bay Country Club.
Yeah.
I know leading up to that, there was some emotions. We kind of had talked about things before we actually got there, but kind of walk me through, you know, your drive there, and now even the last couple weeks, you know, if you've talked to your husband or your mom or friends or just talk to yourself, what's that been like?
You know, it was a really cool time to prep and think about things that I haven't really let myself process or think about how I would speak to it. And so, you know, even you and I talking on the phone, I went outside, I went on a long walk, and I kind of started just gathering my thoughts of like who I am, where I came from. It was kind of a healing little exercise. And I think you did a great job of, you know, making me feel comfortable and, you know, no pressure. But I love that you said, you know, as I'm driving, put on some music or just kind of talk and, you know, speak about how I'm feeling. And yeah, it was the first time that I was going to Granite Bay Golf Club since my dad passed away. And, you know, they were members there. So I knew this was a really special opportunity. But I think because I prepped so much for it, I tried not to let my emotions get too much in the way. And I loved how, you know, I met up with my mom actually right before for a little mimosa or coffee. And, you know, she gave me my dad's putter and those custom balls. And I think just seeing her too really comforted me and like made me excited about the opportunity to share my story and kind of dig into some things that I haven't really focused on in a while or felt. So yeah, it was a little therapy session, I guess you could say. And I know I was honoring my dad, and that was one of the best parts about it is like I know that he was there just smiling down and loving that beautiful day that we had and sharing all the fun, you know, good memorable stories and whatnot.
So you got your dad's putter?
I do.
See this thing.
It's the first time I've taken it out.
Look at this thing. Nice Scotty Cameron, personalized with his dollar sign.
Cash
And the
is
ball.
king.
Let's see the ball here real quick. And everything's
Daddy.
$100. Is that the
Oh,
story?
everything is $100, whether you're betting or spending or everything's $100. There you go.
All right.
All right. Nice
We're in
work.
for a par. We always start good on that. Tell me about your dad.
Oh, well, my dad, Jerry Seipel, JC, was a super fun, amazing dad. I've always been really close with him. I'm the oldest sibling and have 2 younger brothers. I'm the only girl.
Yeah.
So I was the princess, but also probably more like him than even my own brothers. energy is just contagious. And yeah, he loved to golf. That was one of the things. He's a business guy, entrepreneur, always working so many different things all at the same time. I like all the same stuff that he likes. And he's just so generous and liked cool things like concerts, sporting events, nice lunches, shopping.
And what did he do?
So he started as, he dropped out of high school when he was 14 and worked his way up. He's just good with people, self-made kind of a guy. Got into buying mini storages. So as a kid, we would get to like ride golf carts around at these different mini storages and go through, the abandoned garages of people not paying and whatnot, and we could like find just whatever we want, take it. It's a weird childhood, but fun at the same time. Yeah, he always had something going on though. Loved to gamble, so we would go to Tahoe a lot and get to stay at, the best of the best. I remember like the bathrooms would have a phone by the toilet, and man, I thought that was it. We've made it. We have made it. We got a phone in the bathroom, and an arcade with unlimited, we could just play. So yeah, it was like he's just always on these different fun adventures. And so at that point though, things started getting more complex and complicated. My dad's habits and addictions and things that he would surround himself with, and so the high life, comes with a lot of partying, and he definitely had the personality to go along with that, and he's so charismatic, and everyone wants him there and have a good time. And so yeah, he got pretty wild. Yeah, and then that led to drugs and just not being in the right state to be a husband or a dad. And this is like chapter 1 of when I was younger, and it got pretty bad. My mom had to leave my dad, split. He went to jail a few times, went to rehab. My brothers, though, being younger and being boys, it really did have a big effect on them. My middle brother, that was the hardest on him, because at that age, being like a younger boy, and not having your dad like through that time of becoming a man or whatnot, and just having someone to go to, and my dad wasn't available for that. Tommy is 8 years younger than me. He's my baby brother. So I basically kind of helped raise him because he was adorable, first off, and just me being 8 years older, it was just, and my mom needing the help. Like, I was his taxi driver for football. I was, everything. I know that my mom has always loved my dad, like immensely, and same for my dad loving my mom and all of us. It was just, he was making really bad decisions, right? That had huge effects and consequences on all of us. I wanted to hang out with my family. Like, I wanted to hang out with my parents, like more than most people, most than friends, like, because they're the most trustworthy. They know me the most. And there's just like, you can fully be yourself, while having a really good time. So I feel lucky. I feel really blessed for all of like the experiences that I've had, and how close, like I have no regrets, right? There's so many people that lose people and they have so much regrets, or they have so much that they wish they said that they didn't say, or that they showed up more. I'm like, I was literally with him, I think 5 days before he died, and we went to go see Adam Sandler at Golden One Center. It's one of the worst shows like ever. And that was just days before, like, and then all of a sudden, poof, car accident, gone right before Christmas, and whole world just flips upside down.
Since then, though, have you had conversations with your mom or with your husband Kyle or any friends and kind of talked about that?
Yeah, I actually re-listened to my recording and shared that out with my mom. I actually even sent it to my sister-in-law, and I think there's things that I've never even talked about, or that maybe a lot of people don't even know. And it felt really cool to be able to, record something and focus on things that I've never really said to some of my closest, family members and people. My husband, my mother-in-law. So I was like, well, here's me. Now you guys maybe understand why I'm a little bit crazy. But they were all just really proud of me, and just thought it was a really cool opportunity, and encouraged me, that this was a great thing to do. So,
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say crazy. I would say it was brave, courageous, any of those. I mean, that's a big deal, kind of facing some of that stuff that maybe you don't say out loud. It crosses your mind, but when you say it out loud and record yourself talking like you did, I've been doing that lately for the show and for other reasons, or journaling. And you go back and you read some of those things sometimes, and you're like, wow, like I've come a long way, or man, I can't believe how I was feeling in that moment, right? And you give it some time, and it's healthy. But we shared a lot that day, and you shared a lot that day, and I was appreciative of it. There was a lot of moments that I think I told you walking down one of the holes, like it reminds me of my relationship with my daughter. And you remind me in so many ways of Ava when you talk about your dad, of just that father-daughter relationship. So it's special. And, I kept the ball you gave me. I don't know if you can see it here, but I have a golf ball holder where I keep, balls that I've played. But this one, like, you might laugh, but this means something to me. Like it was special for me too, to have you share that and spend that day doing that and continuing this conversation. So,
yeah, that touched my heart.
I appreciate it.
It touched my heart that you were really leaning in and digging in and like putting yourself kind of in my shoes, but in the opposite way, right? Of you having a daughter and you being a dad, and wanting her to speak in the way that, I kind of honor my dad and reflect. And, that meant a lot to me too, that you get it. You get that we had a really special relationship, and I love that you're honoring your relationship with your daughter even more through that,
Yeah, no, it was special to spend that day with you. So I appreciate it. Kind of about that day and sharing. There was a moment. So my friend Eric was out there with us. He's a member there at Granite Bay, and he's somebody that I went to high school with. He's 3 years older than me, and we kind of reconnected here a couple years ago. And I know he's had some things happen in his life, and he was overhearing us talking about your dad. What were we going to say, Eric?
I was very grateful for sharing the story. No, I haven't let me hear the story. I don't know if Mike's told you, but my son was murdered like 6 years ago, March 24th. So when I'm hearing you kind of listen, it brings back a lot of memories.
Can I hug you?
No, but just listening to what what you had, so I appreciate you letting me listen to this, because it's until someone loses someone, you have no idea. You have no idea. I mean, I haven't lost any of my parents, but losing my son, it was devastating beyond.
Yeah.
So thank you for letting me.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it's
not fair. It's not fair.
No, it's not fair.
It doesn't make sense. Huh?
No.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. And every day you wake up and you think it's like a bad dream, and within 5 seconds you're like, fuck, it's reality.
It's real. We've been through something that like most people probably couldn't get out of. And now like we have a platform to try to help others that go through that.
Absolutely. And you also realize that phrase, life is too short. It is.
Really,
You just
really is.
you take advantage of every day, especially your loved ones, because you just don't know when it's gonna happen.
Totally.
You don't know what's gonna happen.
Thank you for opening up to that. I had no idea. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Very much.
Can you kind of talk about what happened? You and I were having a conversation, but you want to kind of,
Yeah.
tell everybody kind of or set that up.
Yeah, it was a really unexpected and moving moment. It was towards the end of the day. We were taking our last like group pictures, and Mike, you didn't prep me on anything with this this guy Eric, and I knew he was a member and that he was following along. He obviously got us on the course, so I was just very appreciative of all that. But we got the chance at the end to kind of get out of our carts and chat and he really opened up and just said that he heard bits and pieces of my story, and he really appreciated my honesty and openness, speaking to something that is so tragic and hard, losing a parent way too young, and how much I miss him and all the things, all the memories that I've had there at the club. And he actually then said, and he had tears in his eyes, and that was actually the first time I was really getting emotional. He opened up that he's been through loss in an extreme way as well, but having his son murdered. And, so you can't ever fully relate to somebody else's experience, whether it's death or, all the things that can happen in life. But that moment of like that raw emotion, that there's really no words, like, people, when you lose someone, they say I'm sorry, because there's not enough words to be able to replace the actual person or the feeling of that loss. So it's like, it's kind of a sad club, of losing, of going through loss in a really extreme way. And those people you can kind of just cling to and relate to in a way that other people just don't get. And so it's sad, but it's kind of beautiful at the same time. And, to see the fact that he, opened up and showed this emotion and just truth. And, he had so many kind words to say, too. It really touched my heart and made me... I don't even know. I just was happy that I got to meet him, and that was part of the day, like, to be with somebody that kind of gets it and understands. So,
Yeah, and it wasn't intentional to bring him for that reason. Like you said, he was a guest. He secured the tea time for us, and he was pretty much staying out of the way,
Right.
letting us do the show, and he was hitting his shots and playing his round. And
he's
when
good,
that
too. He was good.
I know he can play. He can play. Anyone that's out Granite Bay right now, and they know Eric, don't let him sandbag you. He can play. But that was a moment where you and I were getting into having a serious conversation, right?
Yeah.
And I saw him kind of wave his hands and like, hey, can I interrupt? I was like, I thought something was happening, and he just went straight to you. And you said it perfectly. It was sad and beautiful all at the same time. Like, you guys just had this moment, and I just naturally felt like I need to scoot back and let them have a moment. As much as I wanted to get in there and hug you guys, but that wasn't a mic moment. That was just a genuine moment. And we kind of talked about it after when we were having lunch, and he was apologizing, right? Like, hey, I'm sorry for interrupting. And I was like, Eric, listen, I said, this whole show started because of something similar to this. Somebody was going through something, and they felt the need to call me to golf. They couldn't say, I need to talk to you, Mike. They said, can you go golf, so that they could talk.
Right.
And my hope with any of these stories and conversations, that when people are listening or watching, when this episode airs, that they can relate or they can take something from it, whether it's a good story, a joke, or somebody that's been through some loss. And I was like, wow, like, he was just overhearing our conversation kind of from afar, and felt enough pull, and like, I need to say this right now. And it was just, I was like, that's Eric, that's what this show is about, so to me it was special. Again, it was hard tears, but they were sad tears, and also like, I just felt you guys like have this bond after that, and it was nice for me to be a part of that. I felt honored to, like, wow, I get to see something like this happen. It's rare,
It was like reaffirmation of like everything you said, the reason that you're doing this show, and that like authentically connecting people together who are just meeting even. And so, I thought that was really special too. And, it really touched my heart. So
yeah, no, that was like I said, you said it perfectly. It was sad and beautiful all at the same time. But you're talking about your daughter. Let's switch that. Let's switch it up right here.
Mm-hmm. She's a little Halloween baby, October 30th.
Is she October 30th?
And
did you dress up?
In the hospital?
Oh, yeah, come on.
No. So that was an interesting story too. So I found out I was pregnant March 1st, 2020. And
Oh, COVID, just right when that
2
hit,
weeks
literally.
later,
Yeah.
March 14th, I remember at the office, our leader was like, just pack up your stuff. We're probably going to be home for a little while. You know, we'll just see how it goes. And then literally 3 years, 3 years, fully remote. I couldn't have been like more lucky though, because
Yeah. But were you at a point where he wasn't even able to come into the hospital when you had your checkup?
yes, yeah. So weird time to be pregnant for sure. Scary because everything was so unknown. Yeah, the story just gets crazier and crazier though. The same day I found out I was pregnant, Kyle was also in an awful car accident.
I remember
and
this
broke
too.
his back and neck and
Yeah.
was in. Yeah, so that, COVID, pregnant, all the things. Lana, we actually all never ended up getting COVID, which is so wild. And she was totally healthy and fine.
Well, hey, let's turn this now. You know, I think we talked a lot about that on the golf course and whatnot. But let's get into some other stuff. Before we start talking, I'm going to ask Miguel to put something on here on the screen. Miguel, you got that queued up for us to share?
Oh gosh.
I love her because she always makes me happy.
Yeah.
And when
So
she
cool.
always kisses me.
Okay. You love her kisses?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And guess what? Well, I really, 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 really love her.
really love her. You just love her in general?
No,
Because she's amazing?
no.
No?
I love her because she always gets me permanent bracelets.
Permanent bracelets. Yeah?
Oh my gosh. Oh.
You know, she is she's so cute. I've watched that already, and I reached out to Kyle and asked him like, hey, can you record? He goes, actually, Mike, I got something, you know, already on here. And I'm watching you during that, and you light up, obviously, and big smile. It made me smile watching it the first time. And what goes through your mind when you're watching your daughter?
Oh, that was such a surprise. She is the joy, the joy of my life, and you know, the most inspiring little being that there is. And she's helped pull me out of places, you know. She's definitely my daughter. She's my little mini me who loves jewelry. I wonder where she got that from. But yes, we have our permanent bracelets. We did that on Mother's Day. And she's just pure joy. I mean, she is one of the funniest little people I've ever met. Her timing, her cues, like she's got it. But I forgot about that video, and that's just that. Yeah, it made me happy, emotional. So cute.
She really is. She's got a little personality right there.
Yeah.
That, you know, when I was watching, I was like, oh, she's building up for something big. Like, it's gonna be when she hugs me. It's gonna be when she tucks me in. It's permanent bracelets. And I was
Permanent
like, you know what? I mean, that's kind of Carolie's daughter right there. I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably nothing more loving for her to say than what she said.
Yeah, well, and then she'll also tell me too, like, you know, how they fill out those things at school about like my mommy loves this or that, or my mommy's really good at, and she usually will say cleaning. So, I mean,
All right.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that.
So how old is she now?
She's 5, going on
She's 5.
15.
So, I mean, outside of the videos and the jewelry, what's some other things you guys do together, or the three of you guys do?
We love to go on walks outside or gardening. She's my little helper, so she basically will go along and do whatever I want to do, which is great. We do love shopping and grocery shopping. She's my little helper. She's got to, you know, check off the list. What else? We've been going to the movies a lot now because she's able to sit through. So luckily they come out with movies these days that are fun for both adults and kids. So yeah, we'll go and she'll get her Slurpee and Kyle get a beer. I'll get a glass of wine and watch Zootopia.
I love that. Well, I'm sure she's going to watch this someday, whether it's now or down the road. Just you have that video to watch her. Anything you'd want to tell her when she's watching this as 5-year-old Lana or 20-year-old Lana with her kids, 25, 30, and her husband someday? Like, this is going to be there forever. Anything you want to tell her?
Oh, that's so special. Yeah, I would tell her to just keep being her, be authentic to herself. Don't let other people, control your feelings in ways, beyond your own control. She's just such a smart girl, and I just hope that she always believes in herself and knows how loved she is. I know she's going to do incredible things. She already is at this little, 5-year-old age. And I'm so honored to be her mom. And I can't wait to just continue, growing together and our bond just forever increasing, just like my mom and I.
Yeah. I think I had a really hard time with being a mom, losing my dad and all that stuff, but now I look at it as like I'm just so grateful that I have her for that light and that motivation beyond what, work or sorry to say it, being a wife. Like, kids are just, they're magic, and they surprise you and they keep life just like exciting and something that you made, and so again, I'm just grateful for what I have and what I've learned, and
I can see
coming from a great family.
I'll say this, you asked me, like, why me kind of thing, but for me asking you to be on the show and wanting you on the show and grateful that you are, we began, we had built a relationship through work and friendship, but then at some point, I would say about a year and a half ago, all of a sudden you opened up like on LinkedIn and social media, and we're like, hey, this is what I'm going through, and it's, life and loss and this, but I'm still pushing through. Like, it was positive. It wasn't a poor me. It was like, hey, I've been through this, and you know what? I'm still getting through this. I'm still pushing forward, and I commented, and like I don't ever comment on LinkedIn except like, hey, good job on your work anniversary.
Yeah,
but I think I didn't even comment. I sent you a message, an email on the side.
Yeah. And you weren't the only one,
and
too.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine, but I remember your comments were just like seeing it, and it kept popping up because I had liked it, and so then it kept like, you kept going up there. But I was like, that's awesome, and I couldn't imagine it hit me like that as a man. Like, how many women probably reached out to you as like, I've been through the same thing, I'm doing this. But for me, I was like, almost like a dad moment of like, wow, like look at her, like, because Ava, you remind me of my daughter a lot. She's tall, she's pretty. Like, I would say the things you're saying about your dad, she probably thinks about me or says out loud, like, outgoing, golf, all the things. Like, I'm not $100, I'm about a $10 guy, but it's it's very similar to all the things you're saying. Like, it reminds me of you, of that, and seeing that post, I was just like, wow, like Carolie's growing up now. Like, look at her. But it was nice for you to be vulnerable and open, and so the whole reason for this show is that it's the conversations that, even if we weren't golfing, we've had these kind of conversations, maybe not to this extent, but we've had some of those, and sitting with Doug that night, like, just like it's
real life.
It's evolved real life stuff, and you've listened, like, you're a good listener, like you said, what you want to elevate people and do those things, and you do that for me, whether you know it or not. But I love that. I love introducing you to people, like Andy and Ben and everybody over there, like, she's amazing, like Andy loved, like the whole team loves you. And so for me, I like being a connector of like introducing good people to good people, not for a reason of work or profit, but just
what can
like
happen.
You're a good person and you're a good person. Like, I love seeing that happen. And I sometimes feel like, fuck, I'm gonna get cut out of this relationship. Like, these two people are great. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Why am I
All right. Well, what about her dad here? Let's talk about Kyle.
Oh,
Like
Kyle.
I said, I know I see his videos. I see him beating people up in his new studio and doing that. Tell me about you guys and how you guys met, and walk us through that to then till now.
Yeah, so it's a real love story. We actually met, it's almost been 15 years ago, 14, 15. We happened to go to the same high school, but 9 years apart, and our paths kind of reconnected or connected when I was at Sac State, and he had just moved back from, he lived in Santa Barbara, he lived in LA, he lived in San Francisco, and he finally came back home at the same time that I was home, and we found out we had mutual friends in common, and organically we kind of just kept running into each other at the same places at the same time. The gym happened to be one of those places that I used to frequently often visit. And we both kind of would figure out what times like we would see each other at the gym, and may or may not have like planned our workout time around that.
Both of you.
Well, yeah, I admitted that first, but then he said the same thing. So fast forward, I don't know, maybe a year of going like by without us really talking or making that connection. We were at a Sac State football game that he happened to be at. I happened to be at because it was when the Mountain Lions were there.
Oh yeah.
And he's sitting with a group of people that I knew, and I'm with my family, and I say hi to the folks and stuff, and get to meet Kyle, and literally at that moment was like, oh my gosh, like I wish I could date a guy like that. He's such a nice guy, he's so handsome, and all these things. And I ended up being the bold one, and I invited him to my 23rd birthday party. I had a booth and a bottle at a club, and he politely declined because, and now I know why, he said he didn't want to deal with any competition. And I was like, oh, how embarrassing, like he won't come to my party. But then like a week later, he was like, I'd love to take you out some other time though. So actually we went on a date, and this was like December like 4th or 3rd of 2011. So 15 years ago. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And we went on our date to wine tasting. And literally that day, fell in love, and I met his family the next day.
Wow.
It moved pretty quick. And I think he knew, like, obviously he's a little bit older. So, I think he knew what he wanted. And yeah, we've been together ever since. So yeah, he proposed about a year and a half in, and he's an incredible guy. Like I said, from that first minute I met him, and even our first date, I remember him coming. I was living at home at that time, finishing up college, and I remember him, opening my door for me at the car and coming in and meeting my parents and just being so respectful. And the whole drive up to wine country, he was just talking about his family and his parents and God. And I'm just like, I've always been for the bad guys, I guess you could say. And I was just like, wow, I didn't know somebody that's like this handsome, like could be that nice, like be
Right.
that good on the inside. And I always joke that I'm the bad one in the relationship, because he's just such a good person. He is so kind. He's so honest. He is clean mouthed. He's so healthy. I mean, you name it. He's so smart too. And he's just like a serial entrepreneur that multitasks with so many different things. But at the same time is very present and available, and like such a great dad. He picks up Lana on Wednesdays early, and they have their little date where they go to the library, and then he takes her to gymnastics, and then afterwards they usually get like a shake or something. And I'm just like, wow, you are such a good dad. And she's so lucky, to get a mom and a dad that are both so, involved in her life and present.
I love that. It's funny. It's funny you say. I remember meeting him the first time. I think it was at a wedding.
Yeah.
It was the night before a wedding, and I thought the same thing, Kyle. I thought the same thing. I was like, man, this guy is handsome. He's super nice guy. Like we sat over and chatted for a little bit. We didn't. I don't think he knew many people at the thing, but we were over there kind of off to the side talking. But I thought the same thing. We had talked about kind of roles changing in your house, and
when your dad passed, and
Yeah.
kind of people pick up different spots. How was that? How did that? I don't say pan out. How did that go in your marriage, in your house, when you were going through that? I mean, did your roles change there, or kind of just stay the same and grow more together? I mean, I know what you were going through. You know, I mean, I don't. Let me take that back. I don't know what you were going through. You were telling me what you were
Yeah.
experiencing and whatnot, and that he was just kind of solid there.
Yeah.
Did things stay the same? Did they just tighten? Like, how did that?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I so Lana was only 2.5, and when my dad passed, so still kind of a baby. And it was so sudden. Like no, there's no prep. It was a car accident. So in a day, in a second, everything flipped upside down. And it was so like the worst news ever that it didn't feel real. So I definitely am grateful for Kyle because he gave me the space that I needed when I needed it to be able to grieve or be there for my mom. There were so many moving parts and complications to what happened with it being so sudden and other people being impacted. And I mean, it was a complete nightmare. And I'll be honest with you, it was so hard to even know how to feel or be, right? And a lot of the times I think I had to like act that I was okay, in front of Lana or to my husband. And I know he knows that I wasn't okay, and he was supportive of that too. But it was a journey for sure. I mean, I had to go. I took a leave of absence, which I'm so glad I did that, to take that time and that space to be there to help my mom and help my brothers, and while being a mom and a wife and all those things. And so I took a leave of absence. I found a really great therapist and dedicated a lot of time towards that. And, he picked up the pieces and kept everything else kind of going to try to keep it as normal as possible. But, it's a big part of me was taken up and emotionally changed. And that can make it hard. Marriage is already hard without loss and tragedy and all the things. And so in navigating having a young kid, she just walked in this office.
Let's get her on here. Yeah.
Say hi.
Lana, how are you?
Good.
You're on TV.
Yeah, this is a YouTube show, which you're pretty good at.
What are you doing? Is it raining outside?
No.
No. If it was, would you go jump in the puddles?
Yeah.
I know you would. Do you have rain boots that you go get in the puddles in? I love it. Your mom was showing me her bracelet. Do you have your bracelet on? Let me
Oh,
see.
yeah.
Oh, look at that. Mom holds yours up too. Where's your bracelet at?
We have to go
those-
get more.
Do those match?
No.
They don't match?
What do yours have?
Hearts and polka dots.
And what's the little charm?
Love it.
Strawberry.
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 But
That's
yeah.
cute. Let me see. Can I say it one more time? I want to see the heart.
Can you show him? Get close.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's pretty. Did you pick that out? You did a good job. You did a
Yeah.
good job.
She's a fun one. She makes everything just better. But yeah, we're lucky. We've got a good team, and it takes a team for sure to navigate life and deal with all the things that happen, the unexpected, the good, the bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a journey, and he's been so supportive, and a lot of dreams have come true even after loss. We bought our brand new home here in West Sac, and we're building a whole space dedicated to Kyle's business, training martial arts, and
The same shirt.
sorry, and it's going to be a space for community, basically, where he can create art and we can host parties and gatherings. And so it's been nice to have a different kind of chapter in a way, like a true fresh start. And just a really nice home, to be honest.
You know, they're not going to remember the times it was like, get to your room. You know, it's the fun and
It's not about being perfect, because literally no one is. So it's like, yeah, he had a good time. He made a lot of mistakes. And as I grow up and I get older and have my own family and start seeing what it's like to be an adult, because like nobody wants to grow up. Like, let's be honest, like it sucks.
It's hard.
So like now I'm like, I see like how he could get carried away being out with business friends and like having a good time. I'm like, I do that, and I'm a woman and I'm a mom, and like, but I'm also him.
You're gonna go here first, but
Okay.
yeah, but like even like from your mom's side of it, like wow,
Yeah.
she stuck through all of this. Like,
Yeah, she's-
fuck, would I do that? You know what I mean? Like it's funny how you realize things as you get
Yes.
older and dad and mom and
Yeah.
and fun. You know.
Yeah.
I love that, and actually, you know, that leads into kind of my last question before the final two questions that I ask everybody. But
Okay.
you know, we've talked a lot about the past and growing up and
Yeah.
family, but what's the future hold for you? Career, family, growth.
Ooh, future Carolie. Well, we're done having kids. That's been decided.
No more of those in the future.
I mean, I feel like the growth is like what is happening here in our home, but also, we love to travel. It's been a while since we've done like a big trip. So yeah, another Europe trip. I've never been to Paris. I think that would be something that we really want to do and look forward to. Career-wise, I mean, I'm in my niche. I do love, I get to, manage events and corporate sponsorships and sports, and it's kind of music. It's all the best things that really energize and light me up. So I just hope to keep that. I hope to keep that passion, but also find ways for new and, growth beyond. Celebrating 9 years at Golden One, actually next month, which is pretty wild.
Which you are absolutely amazing at, by the way. We have mutual friends and connections. I mean, I'm still in the community, still doing things, whether it's through Chamber or Sac State or other organizations, and everybody, oh my God, Carolie. So you're doing a good job. Don't think that people aren't noticing that everywhere, because it stands out and people talk about it quite a bit. So.
And it's the people that make it, the best,
Right.
and those relationships. So again, going back to authenticity and being like knowing your strengths and what you're good at and leaning into those to make it so it's not work, right? Like it's what you enjoy, it's what you're good at. So I appreciate like other people saying that for me or recognizing that passion. And I love being a part of our community. I love help lifting other people up. So it's I just hope that I keep that forever. But yeah, I'm not good at the like what's the 5-year plan. I don't know. I really don't.
Don't even know what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow.
Yeah, I do day to day. That's my motto. So
I love that. Well, the final two questions I ask everybody. One of them's kind of reflective, and one of them is fun here. And sometimes they switch actually.
Okay.
But a mulligan. I'm going to ask you about. If you had a mulligan in life, and people that don't know what a mulligan is, it's a do-over. And you had a couple of those while we were golfing, so I know I explained it very good to you what a mulligan was. But for the people out there listening, if you had a mulligan in life, what's something you would do over?
I honestly think I wish I would have cared more about learning when I was in college. Like I got by. I obviously got my degree, but I did go to Chico for a couple years and really leaned into the experience of like leaving home and having some freedom. And I was the first one in my family to go to college, so that alone was kind of like hard to navigate and figure out. And but I just wish that I would have focused a bit more on like the education piece. No regrets, but at the same time, I mean, it all works out the way I guess it's supposed to. But if I could do that, I would have invested more effort into that.
I like that. I tell you, you remind me a lot of my daughters. There's a lot of parallels, and she's at Chico, and
Yep.
if she tells me after she watches this, I'm leaning into the experience. I'm gonna know what she means. I'm gonna call you, and I'm gonna blame you for that excuse.
Yeah, great.
She's leaning in heavily, but she's having a good time and doing that. Look at that little sticker back there. What is that? My last question is past or present, alive or dead, fictional, non-fictional. Who would be in your dream golf foursome?
Oh gosh. I actually. Okay, who would I have? I mean, it's gonna sound cliche, but of course I'd love to play another round of golf with my dad. I also think my Nana, who I know we talked about this on the course, she's had 3 hole-in-ones in her life, so she's also in heaven, and she would have been a ringer to have on the team. And you know what? I think the third person would be Lana, so that she never got to meet my Nana, but the 4 of us together to have an experience like that, that would be pretty special.
I love that. There'd be a lot of $100 flying around.
Lots of
on that
money.
round for sure. Well, Carolie, thank you so much. Like I said, I told you on the course, and now I've enjoyed this. I love learning more about you and your story. And like I said, I know your story is going to touch somebody. It already has, while we were filming this, and I think people are going to tune into this and listen. And I hope, for the same reasons that when I asked you to be on it, I hope that your daughter gets to hear it, your husband, your family, and people that care about you and kind of get to see the behind the scenes of your life. And so I appreciate you sharing that and trusting us with that. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike. It really has been an honor, and I appreciate your friendship. I think this is such a cool platform that you're building, and I've really enjoyed getting to know you more through this process as well. So, sorry for the sneak surprise of Lana, but it kind of makes it perfect, and
It does.
That's how life goes, right?
I'm the last person that's going to complain about a little kid popping in on the screen. So thank you. And well, thank you.
Okay.